Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is actually just an update video to a video I did quite a while ago, but it turned out to be really popular, which is fixing the error codes on your Xbox One, 9 times out of 10 due to something happening when you're trying to upgrade them or just install new firmware or what have you. So I feel like that video was pretty good, but after getting like a lot of comments on it, it actually worked for a lot of people. Some people it didn't work for, but I got questions in the comments that kind of let me know that there was some things left out or maybe some other scenarios that I didn't really touch on in that video. So I wanted to make a new video and try to encompass everything like a complete all-in-one knowledge video when it comes to fixing the area codes on these consoles. That way, you really got like a one-stop shop. So the first thing we're going to talk about, obviously I have one hooked up behind me. The one behind me has a E1xx error code. So I want to go through all of the error codes, and that's what this is for, because there's no way I'm going to remember off the top of my head. But I also want to be able to tell you how to identify if your Xbox One is in the insiders program or not. Now, if you don't know what the insiders program is, basically it's just like early access, like beta firmware, basically. If it's your Xbox, then you can unenroll it on the computer. Like if you download it's like an Xbox app you can put on your Windows laptop. You can go in there and you can unenroll your console from the Xbox Insiders program. If you're like me and you're just a reseller, then you will never have your own Xbox, so you can't do that. A lot of times people are in the Xbox Insiders program and they just get rid of their Xbox Ones, especially when they start having those software issues, and there's no way to unenroll it. So if you do have that issue, if it is part of the Xbox Insiders program, there's nothing you can do. You can't, no matter even this video, nothing I'm going to tell you can get you out of that. Like, it's just done. There's nothing you can do for that Xbox because you'll never be able to remove it from that program. And when you put that firmware on an Xbox, it doesn't allow you to upgrade straight to release firmware if it's still enrolled in the Xbox Insiders program. So now, as of this video, you can't do it anyway. Maybe Microsoft will come out with something. I really doubt it. But as of now, if it's part of the Xbox Insiders program and you're not the one who put it in there and you don't know the person who did, it's pretty much just going to be brick. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, how do you tell if it's in the Xbox Insiders program? Happy you asked. Now, let's grab this phone and we're going to go back here so you guys can see. Let's see. I'll just split this, but basically right here down at the bottom. And now when you first boot up your Xbox, we'll push B so we can go back. When you first try to boot your Xbox, you're going to get this screen. Tell you, hey, something went wrong. It tells you want to restart or do you want to go into troubleshoot? You want to go into troubleshoot. So we'll go there. And the only thing you're worried about is one, the error code, which we'll go over next, which each one means. But what you want to look for is your OS version or your operating system version. This right here is your operating system version. So I'll zoom in right there. These numbers right here, these are your operating system version. Then when you go over here, this tells you whether it's actual like public release firmware or if it's part of the Xbox Insiders program. Now, the way this looks, it would be kind of making you think it's like insiders, like developer, because you have your Xbox and dev right here. But it's not. This is actually public firmware because it has the word release right here. Sorry that this keeps unfocusing, but it has the word release right here. If it's part of the Xbox Insiders program, release won't be there. FLT will be there, which is just short for flight. Just think of it as like people do pilot programs and stuff like that. That's what it's for. So if it says FLT underscore Xbox, that means it's part of the Insiders program. And for lack of a better word, you're pretty much screwed at that point. When you go down here, this is the actual build number. So that's what you're kind of looking for. You're looking for your operating system over here or your operating system version. You're looking to see if it says release. If it says release, you're good. If it says flight, yeah, it's pretty much bad. And then you're looking for your build version here because you always have to put on newer firmware or the same exact firmware in order to get the Xbox to take it, because your Xbox stores this information in the NAND memory in these consoles. That's how it knows if you're trying to install a later firmware, the same firmware, or an older firmware. And the Xbox won't take an older firmware. So that's kind of what that's all about. And again, oh no, I almost stepped on something. We'll sit this phone back over here. But yeah, so that's a brief description, or I guess it's pretty in depth on what that actually means. But that's the first thing you want to look for. Just see what operating system version you have. Now, for the actual error codes, we're going to start with the E100 series codes, because those are the ones most people have and most people end up getting. This one right here is actually another one that has an error code, but this one is a E203. So we'll get to that one next. But for the E100 codes, first off is E100. If you get an E100 error code, that means that the console cannot communicate with the DVD drive in the Xbox One. If it can't communicate with the disk drive, it will not boot up. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you're getting this error, is usually because either yourself or someone who had the Xbox One before you replaced the disk drive, and what they did was they replaced the whole disk drive. Now, these disk drives come with daughter boards attached to them. These daughter boards are basically locked to the motherboard of each console. It's a one-to-one pairing. You can't swap them out. So anytime you switch the DVD or the disk drive from another console into another one, you have to make sure that the original daughter board for that console gets put on the new disk drive. If not, you're going to get an E100 error, because it's not the key in that daughter board is not going to match up with the key on the motherboard that it's looking for, and it's not going to start up. The other reason you might get an E100 error is if the daughter board itself has failed. If that's the case, then you're pretty much screwed. There's no way you can pair up another disk drive to the Xbox One. Even if you get a new daughter board, there's no way to repair it to the motherboard. So if you're getting an E100 error, unless, like I said, unless you replaced it with a new disk drive and you still have the old daughter board, you're pretty much done at that point. It's really nothing you can do. There's like a 1% chance maybe you can try to install new firmware. Maybe, you might get lucky, but you probably won't. Like it's really super rare that that happens. Um, One other option you could look into, you can actually open it up. You can check out all the cables and stuff that go to the daughter board. Like there's a few ribbon cables and stuff that connect to it. You can check those. Maybe someone was in it before you. They might have tore a ribbon cable, something like that, and that's stopping it from communicating with the board. You may get lucky with that, but outside of that, that's basically all. That's the only hope you have for an E100 error. But yeah, most time it's pretty much like a death sentence. Now for E101, E101, E102, E103, E104, E105, and E106 are pretty much all firmware issues. Basically, something happened while you were trying to upgrade or update the firmware, and it just threw an error. Maybe a file got corrupted. Who knows? But basically, it's a software install error, and what we're going to go through the steps to do 99% of the time it's going to fix that. It's always an outlier, but most time it's going to fix it. Now the thing with the E105 and E106 that slightly differs from E101 all the way through E104 is that the E105 and E106 are also no hard drive found errors. Now, this can be because a certain file in the operating system is corrupted that's installed on the hard drive. So it just can't even like start the boot process. So it feels like it can't communicate with the hard drive. But it also could be because the hard drive itself failed. So if you're getting an E105, E106 error, it is a possibility that your hard drive might be failing or has failed. And that's why you're getting that error. So that's the only thing that kind of sets E105 and E106 apart from E101 through E104. All right. So E107, E108 is basically unknown at this time. Nobody knows really what those are. I've never seen one personally. So if you're getting that, that sucks because I don't know what to tell you. um, E109 is basically an invalid hard disk or invalid SSD or hard drive. Now, I've never seen this error, but the Xbox will not take a hard drive that is smaller than 256 gigs. Obviously, it's recommended you at least use 500, and it won't take any bigger than a 2 terabit, I believe. So if you're using one that is smaller than 256 or larger than 2 terabits, this might give you a E109 error. Also, you possibly could get it if you're having like you have like some super knockoff brand hard drive where it just doesn't play nice with the Xbox. Apparently, there are drives that the Xbox One will not take certain hard drives. I've never had that issue. I usually always use like basically the ones everyone uses, I guess, like Toshiba is whatever. I don't know. Basically, the hard drives I've used, I've never had that issue. But apparently, this does exist. So maybe you, like I said, if you have some like super cheap off-brand hard drive you're trying to use, that could be why it's happening. And if the hard drive is too small or too big, that could also be why you would get an E109 error. E110 is the last of the E100 series, and there's no documentation for that one yet either. So, going to our E200 series codes. E200 is basically like a catch-all. So there's really no solution for that. I've never seen an E200 error. Now, E2101 and 202, both of those are unknown. I haven't seen one personally. 203, ding ding ding, right here, basically means that the update was interrupted. The last update that this thing was trying to do got interrupted. Either you lost power or something happened, it interrupted it. That's the error. So that's what this one has. So the thing we're going to do where we basically reset up the hard drive using the Xbox One script and doing the offline update with the USB drive will fix this, and it'll also fix that E106 error back there as well. Since that's the E106, we may have to change the hard drive if that hard drive has actually died. But E204, unknown. E205, basically a system update failed because of software reasons. So 205, basically, again, what we're about to do should fix that. The majority of the issues with these are always related to the updates. So these consoles just were plagued by getting bad updates, I guess. E206, 207, 208, those are all unknown. E209 is basically a software error. Kind of happens whenever someone tries to factory reset them at times. Again, you can either just try to factory reset it again, or you can do this thing we're about to do again. So E210, there's nothing for that yet. I've never seen one either. And apparently there are E300 codes. Apparently that's a thing. I've never seen it, and apparently no one's seen it. But apparently they exist. So again, hopefully you never get one of those because there's like no documentation on how to deal with those. But all right, that's it for my cheat notes on that. I'll sit this over here. I'm happy the iPad lives. I basically had to charge it some just to do that part. So we're gonna undo that one. I'm gonna take it apart real quick, and then we are going to jump over to actually clean the hard drive itself, which basically just resets it, brand new out of the box, removes any partitions, anything like that on it. Basically starts it brand new, like an uninitialized drive. So, and then we'll go through all the steps on how to set it up for to be able to be taken by the Xbox itself. The only thing you're going to need to undo or take these apart, get you a little pry tool, and that's just to take off like the sides and stuff. And you'll need two Torx bit screws, I guess you want to call them, or two Torx bits. You're going to need a T8 and you're going to need a T10. So those are only two things you're going to need. And you're going to need one of these. And this is basically just to hook your hard drive up from your Xbox. When you take it out of the Xbox, you can hook it up to your computer, to your Windows computer. And then you can do the steps that we're going to do to set up the hard drive exactly how Microsoft sets them up for the Xbox One when they were building them. So that way you're not just putting a brand new hard drive in it. and it's just a blank hard drive, and the Xbox has to like set all the folders up itself. When we do the script, it builds it exactly what the Xbox is looking for, like all the folders, all the different partitions. It builds it out perfectly, and that allows the firmware to basically, when you go to install it, it goes right into the directories or right into the partitions that it's supposed to go to. All the folder structures are there as well. So it just makes it really easy for it to take, and that's why most of the time it's successful. So we'll set this over. I'm gonna unhook that, and that'll be the one we'll actually go ahead and take apart since that one is up there. One thing to also note, like I was talking about with this, and I will show you uh on here as well, is that not only do you want to look for like this right here to see if it's part of the developer program or the Xbox Insiders program, uh you also want to get this number right here and this number over here, because you got to see if it's part of, there's like 11, I believe there's like 11 of these versions that you have to use OS1 with, OSU, yeah, OSU1 with. If it's not one of the ones listed, and I'll put them up there for you. If it's not one of these ones listed here, it's like maybe 11 to 15 of them. Uh, if it's not listed, then you have to use OSU2 first and then go to OSU1. So, and when you do OSU or OSU, yeah, OSU2, when you do OSU2, it may still trigger an error like this when you go to, like, after it puts it on there. Then you follow right up behind it with OSU1, and then you should be good to go. So don't fret if you get an error code after you do the OSU2 update. Um, there is a OSU3. There is one build that you would use OSU3 for, and then I believe you follow it up with one, but I'll double check on that one. And that is if you have the launch, like basically like the first ones that came off the line, the very first ones that released when Microsoft released these consoles. Basically, if it's never been updated ever since it was first sold back then, you have to use OSU3, and then you can follow it up, I believe, with OSU1. But that's the only time you would ever use OSU3. Super rare that you will find a console that has never ever been updated. But if you did, I'll show the thing again, and this is the version you will look for. That one has to go to OSU2, I mean OSU3, and then you would do OSU1. So that's the other importance of this version, or these build, the OS version number and the build number. But we'll go ahead and we'll turn this off. Just hold it down for, it's usually about 10 seconds or so. There we go. That's good enough. I usually like to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before I start taking power from it. These consoles, for whatever reason, they take a little while to power down. Oops. Almost kicked my good test box. There we go. You can see I wrote the E1xx on this one. First thing I noticed is that we don't have our, and it's kind of loose, but first thing I noticed is we don't have the warranty sticker right there. So somebody's definitely been in this, and it feels a little loose. So maybe they broke a clip or something. But somebody's been in this and they tried to fix it. Clearly, it's not fixed. So first thing I'm gonna do is basically gonna take your prod tool. You're gonna get over here to where your USB slot is. Stick your prod tool in the back, and you just pop this up. Now this thing is super filthy, so it is what it is. God damn, it's filthy. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut. I'll beat that out. Oh, this thing is disgusting. Look at that. Oh man. I wish I'd have picked a different one now. Oh God, that's nasty. No wonder thing isn't working. All right, so let me grab some gloves. I didn't think I was gonna need gloves, but Jesus Christ. All right. There we go. Now I feel better. Okay, so right there, it's just this little piece. You just basically pull it, slide it back. Should not be this hard, but this thing is probably just gunked up. If it is hard, you could just stick a pry tool in and just slide it back like that. Slides back. There's another video on my channel that like I'll go really in depth with how to take these apart. So if this isn't doing it for you, you can check the video up here, and it'll basically go into uh, a lot better steps on how to do this. Here, basically, you just push in and you kind of pull up, push the bottom in, push the top in, and then you just pull. What I like to do is, once I get it to separate some, take my tool and try to oh, there we go. Try not to catch my glove, but stick it in there so it doesn't keep closing down. Once you get that in there like that, you'll start to see these tabs. And what you want to do is you want to push on the outside of the tab. Then you push over here. There we go. And we just start going through here. Where's the other tab? Should be right there. And the other tab is right. Is it here? Yep, there it is. All right. Got those three. Hopefully nothing comes out of here and attacks me. I hate these bottom parts. The bottom parts always suck to get off. There we go. All right, there's nothing in here live, but there's nothing in here clean either. And once you get the top up, there's just gonna be a bunch of clips like down at the front. You'll see them. Or you can, what I will do is you can just take off the ribbon cable. So let's see. Can't really. God, this thing is filthy. But yeah, you could just, it's a bunch of clips like right here. What I normally do is I just pull them like that and just keep working my way down. Once you get down far enough, there it is. It'll just break loose. What the? Oh, it's because of this wrap or whatever that somebody put on it. That's what's holding it. Normally that would have came right off. So what we'll do now is just take off this ribbon cable. It has like a little blue like locking or like wraparound tab. Just take that off. You just pop off your little locker thing and that comes right out. Oh, this is gonna suck because the vinyl is holding it all together. Yours hopefully won't be like that. First thing you want to do is you want to take this off. These are just two T8 bits right there. Is this the T8? Nope, that's the T10. I just want to stick those in. These are the only two T8 screws in the whole thing. And what you want to do, just want to kind of wiggle that up because it's like it's a little. There it is. It's a little piece right there. It sticks in. You can just sit that off to the side. Here's your speaker. What I normally do is we could actually just leave those there, and what we're going to do, we're going to fold it over because you really don't have to do much to get to the hard drive itself. Put our T10 on, and what you want to do is you want to look for every bolt that has a C number beside it. So this is like C1, that's C8. You want to only take out the bolts that have a C number beside it because that's holding the chassis. That's why it has a C number, and it'll be long like that. Should be about 8 or 9 of them, I believe. You have to remove the Wi-Fi Bluetooth card right here because there's one of them hidden underneath it. That's the only reason you have to remove that one. And there it is. I sat it right on top of it, huh? And that's it. Once you get that, open this up kind of gently because there's a wire that connects from this connector down to the actual motherboard. So you want to reach in and see, this is broke. That's why the thing was loose. But you want to just reach in and just unclamp. Oh my gosh, they're missing. Yeah, they're missing a lot of stuff. I've never pulled on this thing before and the actual board itself moved. But yeah, this little connector right here, you just want to undo that from the board. So we're going to slide this over. We're just going to let that rest right there. And you have your disk drive right here, but this is all we're really after, which is your hard drive. Now you're not going to be able to take this out. Well, I'll take that back because we might be able to. I don't know what I'm going to run into, but basically you want to undo your two cables right here from the board. I have to hold this down since the board's moving. That'll take your hard drive straight out. And okay. So yeah, they did that right. So all these right here, I believe these might be T8s as well. Let me see. Nope, they're T10s. So you have 4 screws under here. You want to take those 4 off. All right, once you take those 4 off, you can take it off this base. Basically you have to remove these. There should be 4 other ones right here because this connector piece is basically like sitting inside of it. So you have to take it off first before you can get your hard drive out. Oops. Come on, come out of there. All right, whatever. You want to hang out? You can hang out. All right, there we go. Take your hard drive off. Those want to fall. And then you can take off your little SATA cable thing here, or your SATA power cable thing in one, whatever it's called. But now we have our hard drive, and it is a 500 megabit hard drive, and it is made by Samsung. So hopefully this hard drive is actually still good. What we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the computer, and then we'll actually start we'll clean this, and then we'll start the whole process of setting it up. So let's roll. Whew. All right, so first thing you want to do is you want to connect whatever it is you're using to connect your hard drive to your computer. I just use one of these. So basically you just slide this in like so. It's always a pain to get it in. There we go. And you just clamp it down. Should pick it up here soon. I'll actually go ahead and I'll do like some screen capture so that way you guys can see like a clear picture of it. I know one of the complaints on the old video was that apparently it was kind of blurry at times. Let's see. Doesn't look like anything's picking up, so it might be a bad hard drive. Let's see here. Yeah, because it didn't pick it up at all. So that might have been the issue. Might have been a bad hard drive in this thing. Let's see, I'll unplug. Sometimes it doesn't pick up, so I'll unplug it. Then we'll replug it. Getting the blue light. I'm feeling it. Oh, there we go. We got some flickering. There we go. Temp content. That's one of the partitions. It should be 5 partitions on the Xbox One hard drive, and they'll all start popping up. You see, you got drive U, which is your temp content. You got system update 2, which is your Y. There goes our V, which is our user content. So their W should be popping up here soon. So I've seen it go down here. There's your system support. So far we have 4 partitions open so far. And X should be popping up. There is X, which is system update. So these 5 partitions are your 5 partitions that the script will create. So you normally, if you put in a brand new hard drive to your Xbox One, when you try to update it, or put in a new firmware, the offline update, it has to make all these partitions because they're not there yet. And then it has to make all of the folder structures. So let's see. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and start. Let me open this up some. That way I can run OBS. Okay. All right. So now should be recording. You guys should be able to see all this. But let me see if I can kind of move them around a little bit. Probably not gonna be able to. Oh yeah, I guess I got them up some. Yeah, but you can kind of see a little bit. Like we got our system update X over here. These are your like your A and B folders, and again, the script creates all of this. You got your your temp content right here. You got your user content over here. You got your system support over here, and you also have your system update 2 over here. So this is some of the stuff that you can find or that you'll find on here. Both of these are empty, so there's really like nothing on here for it to even pick up, which is crazy, which is definitely why it's getting the E1xx error. So we're going to close all these out because we're not going to need them. And now what we're going to do is go here, and we need to, and I'll put this, you guys will be seeing that down in the description, which is basically a link to the gbatemp.net site where you get the script from. But you want to scroll down here to where it says Xbox One hard drive or HDD dash master dash 9.zip. And you want to go ahead and download that. You can download that wherever you want. But once you do download it, I would suggest that you extract it to your desktop like what I've done here. So this is what it looks like after you extract it to your desktop. Now, once you do that, you're pretty much set up. You're ready to go. So come down here to search. And what we want to do is we want to get into command prompt. So you just type in COMM down here in the search box. You get command prompt here. Make sure you right click, run as administrator. And now we're there. So we'll bring that up. First thing you want to do is we want to clean our hard drive first. So we want to go into disk part. Now we are in disk part. Second thing we want to do is list disk. Now we can see every disk that is connected to your computer. It'll pick up any USB like thumb drives, anything. So make sure you know which one you are looking at. So right here, disk 4 is what I need. That is the Xbox One hard drive we have connected. Because disk 1 is my main disk, and I know I have a 256 SSD in here, and this over here is just a two terabit hard drive I have for archive purposes. But anyway, disk 4. So basically, you want to select disk 4. Boom. Set disk 4 is now the selected disk. Now we just want to clean. I can hear it spinning and doing stuff. Okay, this part succeeded in cleaning the disk. So that is all I care about. We can do exit now. Oh, no. We don't have to do exit. Yeah, we'll do exit. Exit. So now we're back in C-Windows-System. So basically we're in our normal one. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to minimize, because what we need to do is we need to change the directory in command prompt. And what I'll do is let's kind of minimize this a little bit. I can't see anything for whatever reason. Let's see if I can split it. Yeah. Oops. And we'll over. Okay, great. It's not gonna let me do it, is it? No. I already knew it. Anyway, so we'll do it like this. So we're still here in command prompt. What we want to do is we want to go to desktop where we have it extracted at. We want to go into folder, click that one, click Windows because we're doing Windows. If you have Linux, obviously you can do Linux, but this video we're probably not going to help you much if you have Linux because I'm not using Linux. But what we want to do is we want to take all of the we want to take all of this. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Let's see, but want to basically, this is the batch file we're going to be using, this create Xbox drive. Just right click it, go down to properties, and you want to copy this location. Just copy the whole thing. Let me see. Trying to copy, and these gloves are not helping. But basically copy all of that. There we go. And you want to come over here. Then you want to do a change directory. and then paste, and then hit enter. So now we've changed our directory and it's pointing all the way to basically this folder over here. And now what we want to do is we want to tell it to run the create Xbox drive. So only thing we have to do here, we click back over, just hit period, that like backwards forward slash, I never know really what they're called, but then you just do create underscore Xbox underscore drive. Did I get it right? Yeah, I did. And then hit enter. And now the script starts to run. So first thing it's going to do is going to check to see if the required drive letters are available. Basically, it's making sure that there is a drive letter that's free. If you have a ton of stuff hooked up to your computer and none of your drive letters are free, you either have to unhook something or you have to unassign something. So basically, right now we hit any key to continue. You see here, I can make this, might as well go ahead and make this big now. But you can see here, it basically gives you some options. What we want to do is A, we're basically replacing, upgrading without a working original drive. There are some other ones down here, like you can kind of try to replace and upgrade with keeping the original drive data. But for this purpose, I mean, I always do A, so we're going to do A. And hit A, then you just put enter. So say A was selected, it'll say, hey, it's scanning for some drives. And now it's asking you select the target Xbox One drive. So basically use a disk number from the disk above, from the list above. So we are looking for this one, which is disk 4. So we'll do 4 right there. Enter. So basically it says warning, this will erase all data on the disk. Continue. Yes. And then enter. Now it asks you to select your partition layout. The partition layout is just the size of your disk. And it kind of tells you over here like how much free space you'd actually end up having after you do it. So this is a 500 gig, so we're gonna do 500. As you can see here, it only goes up to 2 terabit because that's the biggest hard drive or SSD that you can put in these consoles. But we have 500, so we're gonna do A. You have to make sure you pick the right size too, so make sure you do that. There we go. Now it starts. Don't worry about the red. The red is fine. Red usually means bad, but in this case, it's fine. So now you can see down here it's saying it's creating the 5 partitions, which are the folders you seen pop up when we first connected the hard drive. So now it's basically doing all this stuff here. It's created the 5 partitions. And now it's formatting and labeling each one. So you get your temp, your user, your system support, your system update, and your system update number 2. So now we have all these. You can just start closing these down because we don't need them. Boom. All right. So basically says script execution is complete. Tells you how long it ran for, and press any key to continue. So, and we're done. So the hard drive is ready now. We can just do exit. And that is a wrap for that. Now what you want to do is you want to go down here and you want to go to your little safely remove, and you want to, this is mine, so basically I think it's this. Oh, no. I can't because it's connected to a thing. Or I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna remove it. You can safely remove it, but mine is connected to like a whole like USB hub thing. I don't feel like fooling with it, so whatever. I'm just gonna take it out. It'll be fine. But yep. So that's it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to our Xbox and put this back in. Matter of fact, first thing we're gonna do is let's jump back in here really quick. We want to go to, let me go find the Xbox, what you call it, Xbox One OSU1. Perform an offline update, basically on the Xbox site. And this is what I was talking about earlier again. You want to see if you have, let's see, where is it at? So this is for the original Xbox One console, which we're using. And we want to make sure, basically we're looking to see if the OS version is listed here. Don't worry about the first two numbers. That's basically just saying that, hey, this one right here, like this is just for Windows 10 or whatever. The 6 one, I guess that's for like really, really early versions. But so basically we're looking to see if there's if it's any of these versions here. Like these are all like really early versions. Um it says basically if your OS version is one of the 11 listed above, you only have to perform one offline update, which basically means skip directly to OSU1. If your build is not one of the 11 above, which ours is not, um, it says then you have to perform two updates. For the first update, basically go to step 3, which is do your OSU2, and then you come back and you do OSU1. So I already have OSU2, but if you didn't have it, you could download it right here, and you will put it on a thumb drive that is at least 8 gigabits. I would suggest just using a 16 gig. So 16 gig or better to do this. So basically we'll have to use OSU2 first, and then we'll follow up with OSU1. And this is where it tells you about the one version, this right here. If you have this version, then you have to do OSU3, and then you come back to OSU1. So if you have that one single version, OSU3. If you don't have that version and your version is not up here, then do OSU2, and then you follow it up with OSU1. So let me I'm actually going to need to grab my my thumbstick real quick because I think it actually has OSU1 on it. All right, so I have my 2, and this one's pretty much marked Xbox One, so I always know that it has I think this one actually has the OSU1 on it. So basically what you want to do is it's nice if you have 2, because you can put OSU2 on one or OSU3 on one and then OSU1, and that way it just makes the process quicker. If not, you're gonna have to pause in between to put the other firmware on there, because you can only have one of them on at a time. You can't put 2 on there, or else the Xbox is not going to do it right. So let's see, we'll go ahead and plug these in. We need to find a free spot. Just found one. Giggity. Let's throw a SanDisk 2 in there. I know there's a problem with the drive. I'm not going to scan it. Continue without scanning. So this is system update 2, but I don't know which one it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete it. Yep. And what we're going to do is we're going to download OSU2. Oh, this is going to take a while. Okay, we're not going to download OSU2 because I already have it. So I'm not fooling with that. But basically, that's what you'll be doing. Let me go up here, scroll all the way down to reinitialize OSU2, and I'm grabbing this. Copy, scroll down to our flash drive, we paste. So basically, just wait for that. I know this one already has OSU1 on it, but I'm just going to re-put it on there just to make sure that it's right. I think this other one already had OSU2 on it, but again, for this video, I just want to make sure it's right. So, okay, we got that there. What we're going to do is we're going to be able to safely remove it because I know which one it is this time. Eject, and should be good to go. Oops. Can I remove it? Yeah, okay. So I can remove that. So this is OSU2. Plug this in. Yes, I know it's a problem, but we're going to continue without scanning. And yes, that is OSU1, but the folder is empty for some reason. So we're just going to delete it. Yep. We're going to go back to OSU1, so we can go here, OSU1, copy, boom, scroll down, and then paste. All right, so we're back here. I have to put this hard drive back in. But first thing we want to do is you want to grab your little backing plate right here and make sure that these two right here, these two little holes at the top, they line up with this. So basically you want to do it like that. You want to put your 4 screws in right there to attach the hard drive back to this plate. Quick way to know which ones they are is they are these little screws with the, it's like a blue, almost like a blue, like a, look like almost like a sealant or like a thread lock or something they put in there. But that's the ones you have to use to reattach it. There we go, that's one. So knock these 4 out real quick. This one, nope, wrong. Oh, it was that one. I thought I was right. I'm so mad I have to wear these gloves because it makes this just take longer. There we go. You don't have to overdo these. Okay, so got that. And I did the thing you're not supposed to do every time on these videos. So I'm going to take these back off real quick. And I'll tell you what I did wrong. You got to hook up your SATA cable first. And the reason why is because the SATA cable has these two little, like, I guess these nipples, whatever you want to call them, that go in here. And the only way you can do it is you have to have some space. So basically you want to connect this first to it. Come on, go on in there, buddy. There we go. Connect it. And then those can slide down in there like that. So essentially what you want to do is connect that first before you start putting it on this plate. But I always forget to do that. And that's what happens if you forget. You got to take out at least the top 2 screws just to give you a little bit of play. You can pull the plate down some, then you should be fine. Now what you want to do is you want to take this thing. You have an arrow right there pointing up. The arrow is basically pointing to where these cables go into the board at. So you just marry them up again like so. You want to grab your screws that have like the really wide flat heads on them. Those go in here. Let's see. One. Again, none of these have to go in like super tight or anything. Oops. There we go. There we go. Good enough. All right. Now, it's like 2 holes back here, and you'll see like these little peg leg or things, whatever. They basically go right in there. That lines up. You're going to take your red cable, and that goes to the black one, and of course, white to white. There we go. So that's good. This thing is broke, but we'll try to, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to stick it back in there because it's broke. I'll try to stick it in there because this is what one of the screws go down through to keep this together, and that's why it was kind of shaky. So we're gonna connect this back to our board because this is what is connecting our Wi-Fi and our Bluetooth to the board. So yeah, definitely don't want to forget that. Yeah, that piece is pretty much fried. All right. Okay, there we go. Probably just gonna take this piece out. Let me see, maybe can I get it to at least stay for a second? Did I get it? Might have got it to, nah, I think it fell over. No, it didn't. Let me see if I can. There we go. Oh, I actually got it to sit. Ew, this thing is filthy. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stick a bolt down through this one just to hold it in place. And these are just gonna be your long bolts. They go back into your to your C spots. There we go. All right. So we save that. Once you get that, I think it's C3. Put C3 in first, so then you can push your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth card back down. These are your only two T8s right there. We'll do those last. Our speaker fell off, so we'll reattach that. Oh, no wonder it fell off. They broke the dang things off of it. It's supposed to have like two hooks right there. Makes sense why it fell then. There we go. Put that in. Got everything hooked up. Everything's there. So now we got to do our ribbon cable. Let's see here. This is going to be fun just because of this stupid, what you call it? Oh man, this is going to suck. I really don't want to have to take this glove off, but I might have to. Let me see. I'm going to try to. There we go. Take that vinyl off. That way I can really get down to it. I'll hook that on the back. We go. Slide our ribbon cable in. Do we get it? This thing is always really particular. There we go. Slide that over. Grab this and lock her down. And we got her in. Yay. All right. There we go. This is gonna be a pain because of the what you call it. There it is. All right. Go. Now we'll start throwing these back in. Again, you put these in all the C spots. Should be 8 of them. And oops. In all honesty, we could actually test it just like this, but I'm gonna put all the bolts back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the lid back because I'm not gonna start this thing up because that dust is gonna fly everywhere if I start it up without the lid on it. Sorry, buddy. Today is not the day you get cleaned. Today is not that day. This is just a demonstration. Okay. Where is there's C over there? All right, one last one, which should be that's a P C7 right there. Boom. All right, we'll take this off, put on our T8, and do our, man. See, that's why I hate these gloves. It makes it hard to do these little bolts. Okay. 1 and 2. And then basically all you do is just kind of peel it back a little bit. And boom. Perfect. That's how you get around that. So, slide your piece back on. Clamp that down. And boom. She's done. All right. Let's go ahead. Not going to do any cuts. We're going to center on over here. Plug it in. All right, let me get my USB drives. Okay. See, is my TV still on? Now it's on. Okay, so we got OSU2 here, OSU1. I'm gonna take these gloves off now because we want to put it in troubleshooting mode. We don't want it to start normally. We want to put it right in troubleshooting mode. So to put it in troubleshooting mode, you want to hold sync and the eject buttons, then hit your power button. But then basically you keep holding these two buttons, but you let the power button go. So basically hold these two, hit the power button, and then just keep holding these two until you hear it beep for the second time. So you'll hear it beep come on, and then it'll finally give you another beep, and then that'll put us in safe mode. So basically just do these, however it's easiest for you to do it. Let's see here. I hate having to do these. There it is. There's the second one. And now we're in troubleshoot. So now I want to grab our OSU2, which is this one. You can either stick it in this port. Well, no, I can't because I need that port for my controller. So I'll take that back. But I always use the back ports, the back USB ports anyway. So you pick either one you want. Put OSU2 in there. The first thing you want to do before it, matter of fact, I'm going to take this back out because the first thing you want to do is you want to reset the Xbox back to factory defaults. So basically reset, and you want to remove everything. Now what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to like kind of clear the NAND, so to speak. It still remembers like the firmware and stuff you had on there, but it's supposed to kind of set it up to be able to take the firmware updates. And in this case, we got to use OSU2 and then OSU1. But you have to make sure you do the factory reset and remove everything before you start this process. So we'll just basically wait for this. Excuse me. And there we go. So we basically got something went wrong. There's our E1xx. Going to troubleshoot. We will take our SanDisk here with OSU2 on it. Put that in there. What did I just do? There it is. That was weird. I don't know if I like bumped it or something happened. Anyway, so we do our offline system update because we got OSU2 stuck in there. So now we got they have an E101 error. So we'll do continue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that one. Then I'm going to come in with the OSU1. Like I said, sometimes you will get the error even though you do OSU2. And now we'll come in for offline. And there it is. So you basically just sit here and you wait till it goes through the whole thing. But yeah. So like I said, if you get the error message like I did, but you see it went from an E1xx to an E101. So just make sure you use the OSU2. Nothing may happen, kind of like how you seen with me. It literally like popped up and immediately faulted and gave you an error code, but it gave me an E101 error. So once I got that E101, then this is the wrong one, but then I knew you put in the thumb drive that has OSU1 on it. If you only had one thumb drive, that would be the time you would take out the thumb drive that you were using for OSU2, go back to your computer, erase OSU2 off your thumb drive, put OSU1 on your thumb drive, and then come back, plug it into your Xbox One. It'll light up, and then you go ahead and put the offline system update. But yeah, so this one pretty much going to take. I'll let this one go for a little bit. I'll speed it up for you guys. I'm gonna step away and do some other stuff. Um, and then we'll just check it out and make sure that it boots successfully. And I don't know if it reads discs or not, because again, I've never booted this. So, uh, but yeah, so it's kind of how that one goes. We can also try the E203, I guess, as well. I didn't want this video to be too long, but it shouldn't take me long. Because I can just cut all this out. I just get right to the hard drive, set it up, and then do the what you call it, and do the whole setup for it. We could just kind of get to this part. But I'll still show you guys like what software this one has on it or what firmware it has on it. We'll see if it matches up with one of the 11. If it does, then we can go straight to OSU1 and not have to worry about it. If it doesn't, we'll go OSU2. And if it has the first ever firmware on it from the factory, then we'll do OSU3 into OSU1. But yeah, so these things they do suck to kind of fool with. They're always having these type of issues, but doing stuff like this, I mean, it makes it a lot easier to get through it and to get these things back up and running. So I'm gonna let that finish out. Like I said, I'll speed it up so you guys ain't gotta sit through it, but I just don't want to cut it so that everybody can see, you know, that it goes through the whole process. It is gonna reset a couple times. Should reset like there and also there. So I'll let it go do its thing. Then once it finishes, I'll be back in here and we'll test it out, see what's going on. Matter of fact, you know what? While it's doing that, I can just break this down. That's exactly what can happen. I don't have to step away. Let's make this time work. This one, go ahead and pop these. Hopefully this one isn't as dirty so I don't have to use gloves. And it's not, so yay. Oh, gotta take the sticker off because this one, nobody's been in it yet, which is always a good thing. I don't like working behind people, so if I don't have to, I definitely appreciate not having to. So you go here. And 1, 2, 3. Come on out of there. It's always a pain working this part. Come on. There we go. Come on, buddy. There we go. Loosen up for me. One. 2. What is this? Oh, okay. There goes a reset. All right. Pop that up. Reach in. Oh, great. Go. Come on out of there, buddy. Lay you off to the side like so. Boom. Boom. Come out of there. All right. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't check. See what firmware it was on. That's why I said I always mess something up. Dang it. Yeah. What do I think it's on? Oh, dang it. All right. I'll show you guys a tip, a secret. I guess we'll have to wait, but I'll just have to I'll just have to get away with some shenanigans for this. Plug that in. Plug that in. We can leave it pretty much open. This one's not dirty, so it won't be that bad. Boom. Stick our little cable on real quick. Stick this back on so that it actually communicates. Let's open this back up. All right. Oh, no wonder. I didn't have that top piece on right. All right, there we go. So we just leave that like that. Oh, it's on 87%, so we're almost there. Then we can just plug it in. I can hit the button. It'll start up. We'll see what it's on. All right, pretty close. Still taking a little while. Dang. But yeah, I don't know why I always do that though. I always forget something or I get ahead of myself, and that's usually what happens. But I mean, we were pretty close with that. Again, we don't need like half of these bolts holding it on. We just basically need it to connect to the board. So it'll be ready to go. Come on, Xbox. Here, I guess I'll slide to the side some so you guys can see. But yeah, hopefully this one there's something special. Maybe this one might be one we can only do we only have to do OSU1 on. Or maybe we'll get a really lucky one and it actually does well. I doubt it will be the very first model because E203 is an issue with you trying to update. So clearly this was trying to be updated at some point and it just threw the error. One of the things that made these like I guess so bad when it came to installing firmware updates is that um a lot of times, you know, you may not always update when the very next one comes out, and sometimes they would just go and go and go for a little bit. Seems like it has issues jumping from like one firmware all the way to the next sometimes. Um, it's just weird. It is just weird how these ones. This is like one of the only consoles that I can think of that really suffered from just a wide like just a massive amount of just software issues when it came to operating system installation or updates. um these are what you're going to get. Like anytime you buy one of these, you can get them for super cheap, especially when they have these error codes, because they're a headache. I mean, even Digital Foundry made a whole video about basically like them not being able to update their Xbox One. Like they had ones they said, I think they said they had actually had like the launch ones or something. Excuse me. Oh, well, there we go. They actually had like the launch ones. So they might have needed to use OSU3 in order to get theirs to update. But it's a whole thing of getting these to work. And it's just something not too many people are aware of. But we'll do A. Here we go. Variety of English. We'll do United States. Choose a connection. Let's see if that works. It does work. Pick mine. We'll have to do some blogging here. There we go. I don't know why I connected 2.4. I should have did 5. It's whatever. So now it's going to check my connection. It's the only bad thing, you got to have an internet connection to even do any of this stuff. We're all good. Where do I live? Oh, I'm in the United States. Now it's going to ask me probably to do an account. And this is the secret. You can get past the account stuff. Come on, Xbox. I know you're dirty and filthy, but stick with me. Uh-oh. There it is. Well, you got to update. The size of the update is about 5 gigs. And this is like the startup one. So you have to do this one. So I guess we'll let that sit there. Matter of fact, while this is doing this, I think I have a second power supply. We might be able to go ahead and hook this one up. That's what we're going to do. So let me find a power supply. HDMI 1 should be pretty much done though. Or this one. So this one we didn't get an issue. Wow. All right. Well, because after this happens, it should access the there it is. So 203. Let's see what the let's see what the error code is, or what the software is. It's 203. And this one we're screwed. This is a screw. So this is actually a perfect one for you guys to see. But you can see right there, OS version. And then you come on over, you got Xbox FLT, which is flight. That means this console is in the Xbox Insider program. Oh, it tapped that, so it might turn off. I didn't mean for that to happen, but yeah. So that one's in the Xbox Insider program. There's nothing I can do with this because I'll never be able to get it out of the Insider program. But this is what I mean. It's really not much you can do. I mean, this one's pretty much a brick at this point. But maybe in another video we could try it on this one. I don't want to make this one longer because I'm like 99% sure it's not going to work. So I don't want to make it longer than what it already is. But worst case scenario, this would be something I would use just for parts. Because everything else, I mean, about it is good. It's just something happened during the firmware update, and I just don't have the original firmware. So we're actually going to go ahead. I'll cut forward to this because this is going to be a while. It's going still got like 4 gigs left. Maybe if I would have picked the 5G network, it would have went a lot faster than this. But hey, we're here now. It's not much I can do. But so we'll let that go for a while, and then we'll actually test it, see if it reads a game. We'll turn it off, turn it back on, see if it boots up right, and then that'll be it. All right, so finished doing all this little first update thing. So we're going to turn it on. Let's see if she wants to boot up. I have it on the right. Okay, it was on the right HDMI. All right, so we at least got a boot animation screen. It's going to take a little while because these always take pretty slow to start up. Oh, and also, I guess while we're talking about it, I know I said that this one was the Xbox Insiders one, and it pretty much was like a done deal. I do have a few ideas that I'm going to try with it. I'm not ready to give up just yet, but I got a few ideas I want to try. Okay, so we at least got to the Microsoft account thing. Let's go ahead and get through this. But yeah, I got some ideas I want to try with this. I want to see maybe I can do an offline factory reset of it using the USB, and maybe I might be able to get it to reach out and pull down the latest Xbox Insiders release, which, believe it or not, they're actually still releasing software or firmware for these things. I think the last one was sent out in September of 2024. So, all right. So basically what we need to do, exit out of that. We want to say we forgot our account. Then we just push B, B. There you go, B. And then should be able to, what is it? I think it's forgot your account. And what was it? Oh, I forgot. Is it use another device or? Oh, just push B. Sorry. When you get back to the screen, you can just push B. I forgot I haven't done one of these in a little bit, but that's how you can skip past having to actually sign in with the Microsoft account. But you have to do forgot password first. You don't have to actually push anything in, but you just have to go to that screen. Then you can push B a couple times until you get back to the sign in screen. And then once you get to the sign in screen, you can just push B again and it'll let you bypass it. Time zone really doesn't matter, but I'll just stick it here. Next, we'll do sleep, and we'll do next, and take me home. Take me home. So yeah, I guess this one looks like it's pretty good. We'll skip the sign in. But yeah, that's how you can save these Xboxes when they're having these issues. See if I can find a game. Ooh, look at that. Call of Duty Warfare. What it look like. And that's good enough to play. Stick a game in here. See if it'll read. It's making noise. Nothing? Maybe not. I hear it spinning and stuff. Maybe it doesn't read discs. But normally it would tell you like the disc is dirty. It's trying because I can hear it making noise, but wow, that's shocking that I got one that had an error code plus doesn't read discs. I'm gonna try one more game. Maybe it was just the game. Okay. There it is. Sorry, holding this phone makes it hard to hit the eject button. Where is my old trusty game? There it is. Madden 19. For whatever reason, this one is the one that usually plays. Or is it? No, it's not Madden 19. I think it's Madden 14, 13. One of them. Yeah. So I think the disk drive is just shot in it, but that's fine. We'll do is we'll take the game out. We'll power it down. Then we'll do one more power one just to make sure that it does power up fine, which it should. It might ask us to sign in again, but besides that, shouldn't have any more issues with it. Go. Let's see. There we go. But yeah, I do have some thoughts on this one. I'm gonna try it. See if there's any way we can, if we can at least get it to hopefully take a factory reset. Sometimes it won't take the factory reset that you use in the troubleshooting menu, because that one, I think it actually reaches out to the servers, and when it tries to pull it down, sometimes it just doesn't work. But the offline factory reset you can do via USB. Those sometimes will take better. So I'm hoping I can restart it or reset it. And since it's part of the Xbox Insiders program, even though I factory reset it, when it reaches out to pull down the new software, it's going to pull down the Xbox Insider's software instead of public release. But if I can get it to pull it down, if we can boot into the console and just get it to boot up, kind of like this one is doing here, we can actually go into, okay, so that one works fine. We can actually go into the settings and we can take it out of the Xbox Insiders program. And then once you do that, then you can load in, or you can put on the latest public release firmware. You just have to uncheck that Xbox Insiders box. So that way, when it goes to look for, or when you try to put new firmware on it, it's not looking for Xbox Insiders firmware, because that's what happens. Like, since it's part of the program, when you try to put the regular firmware on it, it wants to sign it with the Xbox Flight like signature, which is what they sign it with for their Insiders program stuff. And you can't sign public release serverware. You can't sign public release firmware with that like flight key. That's why I won't take it. So once you take it out of the Xbox Insiders program, the Xbox doesn't use that key anymore. It uses the other one in it, and then it's able to sign it and verify it as later than the other firmware on it. And since it doesn't have release firmware already on it, it pretty much auto checks that box as, okay, you're installing later firmware. But yeah, so that's gonna be some of the ideas I have with this one. Haven't gave up on it. Probably do a video on that one to see if we're able to bring it around as well. But hopefully this video helps out even a little bit more than the original video I did on these consoles and getting them from the error screen into a bootable Xbox again. But as always, thank you all for supporting the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.